Hey everyone, my name is John. I originally have a unboxing channel called Johnny0723, but I don't want to confuse my subscribers. What I want to do is show you some cooking, and I want to start out with some roast pork belly. And I don't really know how to do this. I tried it once. I followed a few recipes I've seen on YouTube, and I'm just putting all the best practices together, and hopefully you guys can watch me do it and maybe get the courage to do it yourself. So I've got like 8 pounds of pork belly here. This is insane. And it's almost $30 worth of pork belly. I'm not gonna cook all of it, but I'm gonna probably cook half of it and show you how easy it is with just 3 ingredients. And I'm gonna use my air fryer that I just picked up recently, and it's super easy. So let me take this out. This is a good size. So this is only half. I got another slab here. This is crazy, right? Okay, so here's the pork belly, and again, I want to thank my father-in-law for picking this up for me at the Asian supermarket. This is probably about 4 pounds, and when you buy it, you definitely want it with the skin. If you buy it from the American markets, they usually take the skin off because I guess they find the skin, nasty. But if you know anything about roast pork belly, from the Asian restaurants where they hang it on the windows, you want the crispy skin, and that's like the main attraction for even cooking this. And you want to get something that's like a little fatty, because no one wants to eat just lean meat. And you want to avoid any with bones because it'll be hard to like work around it. So this one, for the most part, is boneless. So this is great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut some slits, and then I'm gonna put it in some boiling water just for a few minutes to cook it maybe 60 to 70%. Okay, and when that's done, I'm gonna dry it and put some rub on, which I'll show you afterwards. So let me go ahead and start cutting this. So just like an inch apart. So this will help it cook a lot faster and hopefully more even. Again, I just want to cook it like 60–70%. Okay, so I'm gonna put this into some boiling water for maybe 10 minutes. All right, so there's the boiling water, and I'm gonna put this big slab inside. Whoops, got some water up there. That's fine, it'll still cook. So I'll just cover this. And we'll let that cook for approximately 10 minutes. All right, it's been cooking for about 10 minutes, and it's pretty much mostly cooked through, I bet. So I'm gonna take it out carefully. This is very heavy. And the important thing to do now is to dry this up as much as you can, and then we'll rub the marinade into this. All right, so here's a tip for you. We do need to poke holes into the skin, so it'll give it that nice crispiness, and also to help extract some of the moisture inside the meat, okay? So the best time to do it is now, when the meat just came out of the water blanching, because right now it's nice and soft. You see that? So it's easy to poke holes. If you don't have anything special to do that, you can just use a plain old fork. So let me do that right now, and then I'm gonna attempt to use some paper towels to dry it up. So, and you don't wanna go too deep into it. Okay. So with the holes, you should probably see more liquid on it, but now let's dry it up as much as we can. So got some paper towels. looks a lot drier now, right? Alright, so right now I'm going to use my 3-ingredient marinade. It's basically 3 teaspoons of 5 spice, 3 teaspoons of regular salt, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. That's it. The main ingredient really is the 5 spice to give it that nice flavor. So let me just mix it up a little bit. Okay. And I'm just gonna rub it all over. And you don't want to get this on the skin side because that'll make it brown, and you don't want to brown it because of this. You want to brown it naturally from the air fryer. Okay. So the amount of this, mixture depends on how big the meat is. So, if you try it a couple of times, you'll definitely perfect it. But this is what I'm going with this time. So I'm just kind of rubbing it in on the insides as well. This will give the meat really good flavor. Get the sides. And if you do get some on the skin, don't worry about it because we're going to be wiping it anyways. Alright, so I'm done, and this is what it looks like with the marinade all rubbed in. And I just want to repeat, this is probably going to be 2 meals because this doesn't fit my 5-quart gourmet air fryer. I'm going to have to cut this in half and cook it 2 separate times. So I'm going to give half to my father-in-law because he bought me this meat. And we can keep the other half maybe. So before you put it in the fridge, you want to wrap your pork on all sides, exposing only the skin. And we're going to let it dry overnight like this, and we're going to cook it like this as well. So it's very important that we wrap it all sides, leave the skin exposed, and we're going to cook it like this, exposing only the skin. Before I put it in the fridge though, I'm going to pat dry the skin as much as I can. And I might rub a little bit of salt on it actually to help extract some of the moisture. So just regular sea salt, whatever salt you have. And just kind of rub it in. And we're gonna wipe it off before we cook it. But while I leave it overnight, I'm gonna let the salt work and extract the liquid or any moisture that's still on the skin. Okay? And since we're gonna wipe it off before we cook, I'm not too concerned about being too salty, okay? All right, so it's the next morning. I've let this sit overnight, and you can see the salt has done a wonderful job of kind of drying this out. I'm gonna wipe off the excess salt the best I can with this towel, and at the same time, this will also remove any moisture. And one last time, I'm gonna try to poke a few fresh holes onto the meat. And right now, the meat is, the skin is a little bit harder to puncture. Like I said, it's best to do it after you cook it, blanch it in water. But I'm just gonna do a few right now, fresh ones. So I'm also gonna put a little bit of oil on top just to help it crisp up a little. I'm just gonna spread it around with this tissue here. Just like that. And you feel free to do this like every 10-15 minutes if you want, really crispy skin. But that's all I'm gonna do for now. And into the air fryer it goes. I gotta plug it in, sorry. Here we go. $320. Half hour, All right, and check on it every 10 to 15 minutes. So it's been 10 minutes and I've taken it out, and you can see the skin is kind of sweating a little bit. You just want to pat it down a little bit to keep it dry. All right, I'm going to put it back in and let it continue cooking. So this is after 10 minutes at 320. Here it is after 14 minutes at 320 degrees. I just took it out again to pat dry the top. I'm going to put it back in and let it continue. So this is 320 after half an hour. It's not as crispy as I'd like. So I'm going to put it in at 360 for about 10 to 15 minutes to finish it off. Alright, it's been going for about 10 minutes at 360. Let's see. There we go, crispy. I think there's only like a few minutes left, so I'll just let it finish off.